Summer fruit and vegetables have a gloss and glow that evokes the energy of the sun stored within them. Teresa Ulyate has been inspired by the bounty of summer, and she's about to share a special menu with us in celebration of the season.
Teresa, so lovely to meet you.
Welcome.
I can't wait to get cooking with you in the kitchen. This all looks so beautiful. When I think of summer, I think of indulging in fun and fresh morsels of delightfulness. In my mind, this applies to both experiences and food. Teresa, what comes to mind when you think summer?
Well, definitely the experience. As you said, we have beautiful weather, so being outdoors with the family, enjoying food together, that's what I think of. So today we'll be making some delicious tomato tarts.
Tomatoes and tarts, two of my favorite things. You can't go wrong. What's first?
All right, so we're going to start with our tomatoes.
Teresa, I don't know about you, but I fell in love with tomatoes in Italy. But I find that the ones here in South Africa don't have the same oomph. So do you have any tips to get the most flavor out of tomatoes?
A little bit of seasoning goes a long way, so always season your tomatoes with salt and pepper. And another way that you can bring out the flavor is to roast them in the oven. It really brings out a beautiful flavor. I love cooking my tomatoes that way.
Me too.
I'm going to add some garlic paste, a little bit of olive oil, and then season with salt and pepper, and then give that a good mix. Right, now we're going to get our pastry ready. So this is puff pastry. Don't forget to dust your surface with a little bit of flour first, and then we roll. Now, something nice about these tarts is you can actually make them as big or as small as you want. I aim for about 10 centimeters, but you can make them dinner plate size, you can make them tiny, whatever you feel like doing. I'm going to be using a bowl as my template for cutting out the shape. So get your sharp knife, and then you cut out your circle. This is something nice for the kids to do as well. They can help you cut out the pastry and assemble the tarts.
That's such a smart idea because you always think you need special equipment and a cookie cutter or something, but this is so simple.
No, not at all. Use whatever you have. You can use glasses, plates, bowls, anything. We're going to pop this on our tray. Can I pass that to you? And you can pop your circles on there. Don't forget to line your tray with some paper so they don't stick. So we're going to start with a base of basil pesto, and be sure to leave a border around the edge of the pastry. This is going to add amazing flavor to the tart.
Yum. Can I do that for you?
Yes, please. I'll get the tomatoes. So these have been sitting in their garlic olive oil mixture. So much color as well. Perfect.
The green and the red really just pops.
It really does. It's time to pop the cheese on. We're going to be using a Chevin today, which is a soft goat's cheese.
Teresa, could you use any cheese?
Absolutely, use your favorite. You can use feta, cheddar, a little bit of parmesan is also nice. I'm just a very big fan of Chevin.
Me too.
Now it's time to do our egg wash. I've popped one egg in the bowl, and I'm adding a tablespoon of water, and then you whisk that together.
Teresa, why the water?
That's how I was taught to do it. I've never really questioned it, but when we brush it on, it's going to add a beautiful golden color to our tarts.
Divine.
So we're going to brush this on. Try not to let it drip down the sides, just put it on the surface of the tart. Those are all ready for the oven.
Perfect, I'll take them.
Thank you.
Teresa, is this going to be our main?
Absolutely. So we're going to be making a ginger, mushroom and chicken stir fry today. It's one of my favorite recipes. I've been making it for years and years. And we're going to start by making the marinade for our chicken. Pop some salt in the bowl. We're also going to add some brown sugar, some corn flour, and some ginger. We're going to add some dark soy sauce, some rice wine vinegar, and some lemon juice. So there's going to be beautiful flavor in there, and the lemon juice helps to tenderize the chicken as well. You can actually do this step ahead of time. So what I like to do is actually make the marinade in the morning and let the chicken sit in the fridge for the day. And by the end of the day, all that flavor has infused in, the lemon juice has tenderized it, and it just tastes amazing.
Those aromas smell so divine already.
So now we're going to add our chicken. This is free-range chicken breast fillets that I've cut up into chunks, and give it a good stir.
Could you substitute any protein in here?
Absolutely, whatever you prefer, you can pop it in there. So we'll put that to one side while we make our sauce. We're going to start with some corn flour. Then I've got some light soy sauce, so we're using 2 different soy sauces in this recipe. Give that a whisk. And then I'm going to add some chicken stock. Give that a good mix, and now it's time to start cooking our chicken. Karishma, would you mind passing me the olive oil? I'm just going to add a little bit to the pan, and then we can add our chicken with all of the marinade. So cook the chicken for a couple of minutes until it's just cooked through. Right, that's all done. I'm going to set that aside, and we can start cooking our vegetables. It smells delicious. Could you pass me the olive oil, please? We've got some shiitake mushrooms, and we're also using portobellini mushrooms. These add a lovely nutty, earthy flavor to the stir fry. We're also going to add some garlic. We've added that, and now we're going to let this cook for a couple of minutes. Those mushrooms are looking so golden and beautiful. Let's add the rest of our veggies. Can you pass me the carrots, please? Of course. And make sure that your heat is nice and high for this part. Let's add some red onion. And last of all, some mange too. We're going to cook that for a minute or 2 before we add the chicken back into the pan.
Teresa, what are some of your favorite summer veggies?
I have to say, I absolutely love my greens. So broccoli, spinach, rocket, mange too, every day please. Yum, let's add our chicken back into the pan. And then I'm going to add the sauce that we made earlier. And of course, don't forget to season. We'll let that simmer for another minute or 2, and then it'll be done.
I don't do fruit for dessert, and I think that's usually everyone's summer go-to for a treat. I'm so glad that you've got something a little bit more decadent planned.
Yes, we do. So we're going to be making some vanilla and almond meringues today. And where we're going to start is we're going to whisk up some egg whites. Right, those are a stiff peak stage, so we can add the sugar.
Teresa, you can either get meringue so right or so wrong. How do you ensure that yours always come out perfect?
I make sure that my egg whites are always at room temperature because that allows you to get more volume. Also, when you add your caster sugar, make sure you do it very gradually so that it dissolves properly, so about a tablespoon at a time. You can also add an acid to your egg whites to stabilize them. So some lemon juice, some cream of tartar, a little bit of salt normally does the trick. And the last thing is to make sure you always whisk your egg whites to stiff peak stage before you add the sugar or anything else. So now I'm going to start adding the caster sugar, just a tablespoon at a time, beating well between each addition. That's thick and glossy, it looks fantastic.
I love how glossy they get.
Me too, thick and shiny, beautiful. We're going to add a pinch of salt, and then we're going to add some vanilla paste and whisk those in.
I love that you can still see the vanilla beans in there.
Yes, absolutely, and then you know it's the real thing. So now we can put this onto our tray. You can pipe the meringue if you prefer, but I love spooning it on for that rustic look. So drop a heaped tablespoon of the mixture onto the tray. And remember that the meringues will expand when they bake, so just leave a little bit of space in between. One last touch before they go into the oven. We're going to sprinkle them with some ground almonds. All done. So these will cook at a low heat for an hour, and then we'll switch the oven off and let them dry out for a further hour. Right, so while those are baking, we can make our summer berry sauce. Can you pass me the berries, please? These are mixed frozen berries that we're using, and then we're going to add some caster sugar. So stir that over a medium heat, wait for the sugar to dissolve, and let it simmer for a couple of minutes until it thickens. So this is looking thick and syrupy, it's all done. I'm going to turn the heat off, and then I'm going to stir in some vanilla extract. So let's blitz this into a sauce, and then we'll let it cool while the meringues finish baking. All done. Right, that looks great. Let's leave that to cool, and shall we set up and get ready to eat?
Of course. This looks like a beautiful, bright summer feast.
I can't wait to tuck in. I'm going to add some balsamic drizzle to the tarts just to finish them off.
And then am I going to put this over the noodles?
Yes, so we're using egg noodles today, but you can also use rice if you prefer. Our dessert is also ready. Here are our meringues, and I'm just popping the berry sauce to serve on the side.
Delicious. Teresa, I cannot wait to try one of these tarts.
Please go for it.
That is divine. Thank you for such a beautiful day in the kitchen. I've had such a great time.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming.